Hi guys, so today I'm here to do the A to Z of unique names for girls. I just want to remind you that I now have a Facebook and an Instagram for names, so be sure to go follow me on both of those. I'll put the links in the description below, and without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get started with the names I've chosen for this A to Z video of unique girls' names. So for A, I chose the name Xanthia. Xanthia is a beautiful Greek name that means flower or blossom. I love this name because you can get the nickname Thea or, of course, Anne or Annie, and I just think it's so spunky and adorable. It definitely needs to be used more often. This name was only used 9 times in the US in 2016. For B, I have the name Brisa. Brisa is a Spanish name meaning breeze. It's just short and spunky and it has a nature feel to it. Brisa was number 1338 in 2016. For C, I have the name Cadenza. Cadenza is a beautiful Italian musical term that literally translates to a falling. I just think that this could be such a cool choice if you are looking for a musical name, and it could be an interesting variation of the more popular name Cadenza. It was given to less than 5 girls in 2016, and I just think it is so beautiful sounding, Cadenza. For D, I have the name Dimity. Dimity is a type of cotton fabric, but where I know this name from is because I love antiques and China. It's actually the name of a China pattern, Dimity Rose. So that's how I was familiar with this name. It sounds like names, like virtue names like Amity or Verity or Felicity, and I think it would fit in with that category of names, very soft, feminine, pretty virtue names. It was given to less than 5 girls in the US in 2016, and I think it would make a very, very cool choice. For E, I have the name Esmeralda. Esmeralda is a Turkish name that means dark moon. This is a beautiful, beautiful name that I recently came across in a baby name book, and I just fell in love with it. To me, it sounds like a variation of the name Esme, and maybe if you love that name but you're looking for something a little bit different, this one might be for you. It was given to less than 5 girls in 2016 in the US, so it is very, very uncommon. For F, I chose the name Fairamay. Fairamay is a name that comes from Middle English and means fair maiden. To me, this name just sounds like the name of a fairy tale princess. It is so, so beautiful. I think that it could honor a Farah or an Amy or a May. And again, this name was given to less than 5 girls in 2016. So many of these names are very, very uncommon on this list. For G, I have the name Gwenora. Gwenora is the Cornish form of Guinevere. In English, this name definitely sounds like it's a combination of the names Gwen and Nora, and both of those names could definitely be nickname options for this name. Again, this name was given to less than 5 girls in 2016, and it definitely sounds like a fairy princess name to me, as does the name Guinevere. I love both of those names. For H, I chose the name Honolly. Honolly is a name that I've loved for a little while now. It's actually the name of a fictional place from the song Puff the Magic Dragon, which was one of my favorite songs when I was just a very, very little girl. It has that pretty sound with that Lee ending that I think would fit in well with girls' names today, but it's definitely not popular at all as a name. It was given to less than 5 girls in 2016. For I have one of my current favorite names, and that is Indira. Indira is a Sanskrit name that means beauty. If you love the names Indy or India, but you want something a little bit more exotic, I think Indira would be a perfect choice. And of course, there's the lovely actress Indira Varma from Game of Thrones that makes this name even more exotic and appealing. This name was given to 59 girls in 2016 and ranked in the low 2000s. For J, I have Jessamine. Jessamine is a variation of the name Jasmine. It's also the name of another type of plant. And this name to me is one part Jessica and one part Jasmine, and could honor someone with either of those names. It was only given to 11 baby girls in 2016 and ranked all the way down in the 9,000s, which is so strange to me because it has such a popular, accessible sound to it. For K, I have the name Cadenza. Cadenza is a Cornish name that means first. And I just think it's really spunky and fun and could honor any Ken name like Kenneth or Kendall or Kennedy. And it was given to less than 5 girls in 2016. For L, I have the name Liliosa. This is a Latin name that means lily. I think this would be a good choice if you want to use the nickname Lily, but you don't want to use a more popular, longer form of the name like Lillian or Liliana, but you want something a little bit more out there. I think this would be a perfect choice, and it was given to less than 5 girls in 2016. I feel like I'm kind of a broken record saying that at this point. For M, I have Maple. Maple, I think, is definitely a possible choice, especially with names like Ivy and Willow and Ash becoming more common. I think Maple is definitely usable, and I actually know a girl named Maple, and I think it could be a sweet way to honor a Mabel. Maple was given to 113 girls and currently ranks 1822. For N, I have 2 variations of a name, and those are Nerina and Nerida. Both of these names are Greek and they mean sea nymph or mermaid. So I absolutely love the meaning of these names and the sound. Both of these names are easy to spell and pronounce, and they're just so beautiful. I would love to meet a little girl with one of these names, and I think it would be sweet if you had a daughter named Nerina or Nerida to do her nursery with like a ocean or underwater or mermaid theme. I think that would be so sweet. But neither of these names were given to more than 5 girls in 2016. For O, I have Ophira. Ophira can be spelled with a PH or with an F, and I think both spellings are absolutely beautiful. It's a Hebrew name that means golden. It's one of those amazing O names that is so underused, and it reminds me a little bit of the name Ophelia. It has that O, PH, OF beginning, and I just think it's a beautiful name, but it is rarely used in the United States. Both spellings were given to less than 5 girls. The next name I have for P is Prisca. Prisca comes from a Roman family name meaning ancient. It is a very ancient name. It's over 2,000 years old. Prisca is actually where the name Priscilla comes from. I just think this name is short and spunky, has a similar feel to names like Petra or Freya or Veda, but it's much less popular than those names, and it was given to less than 5 girls in 2016. For Q, I have the name Quilla. This is an English name that means quill, so it has a little bit of a nature meaning, and it just has a pretty feminine sound, and I think it'd be an exotic choice, especially if you are looking for a name that starts with the letter Q, and it was used less than 5 times in 2016. For R, I chose the name Reverie. Reverie is such a beautiful word name, and I love the meaning. It means to be lost in your thoughts or to be lost in a daydream. And I love this name because you can get the nickname Ever. And I always hear people wanting to use the nickname Ever, and I think that's one of the big reasons that the name Everly has gotten popular. But Reverie, I think, could be a very cool Everly alternative because you can still get the nickname Ever. Reverie was only used 17 times and ranked in the 7,000s in 2016. For S, I have the name Saskia. Saskia is a Dutch name meaning Saxon. This name is much more popular in England and Wales. I think it's in the 300s over there, but in the US it was only used 27 times in 2016, and I just think it is very pretty. It has such an appealing sound to it, and it should be used more often. For T, I have the name Tamsin. Tamsin is a female variant of the name Thomas, and I think it would be a very cool way to honor a Thomas. I think almost all of us have a Thomas somewhere in our family tree. I know that it's probably the name that appears on my family tree the most. And actress Townsend Merchant spells her name with a Z instead of an S, which is a very, very cool variation of this name. It was only used 23 times in 2016. For you, I have the name Unity. This is a beautiful English virtue name that has the same feel as names like Charity, Amity, Felicity. Unity was only used 30 times in 2016 and ranked in the 4,000s. For V, I have another name that I've been crushing on recently, and that is Verena. Verena is a Latin name that means truth. This is just a strong, beautiful name that is very underused. It was only used 18 times in 2016. I love that you could use the nickname Vera or Rini. I think those would both be adorable nicknames for the name Verena. For W, I chose the name Winola. Winola is a Germanic name meaning charming friend, which is such a sweet meaning. It sounds similar to Winona and Winifred and could honor either a Winona or a Winifred. Has the possibility of nicknames like Winnie or Nola. I think Nola would be such an adorable nickname choice. It's such a unique name, and it was given to less than 5 girls in 2016. For X, I have the name Xanthia. Xanthia is a Greek name meaning fair-haired. It's an English elaboration of the name Xanthi, which I love as well. I think the bonus of using Xanthia is that you can use the nickname Thea. Xanthi was given to 6 girls in 2016, and Xanthia was given to less than 5. For Y, I have the name Isella. Isella is a Cornish name meaning modest. This name I think is so beautiful, especially if you're looking for a very unique way to get the nickname Ella. And it was given to less than 5 girls in 2016. And finally, for Z, I have the name Zenobia. Zenobia is a Greek name that means force of Zeus. This was the name of a queen in the 3rd century, and I just think this name would be such a cool choice. Even though it's ancient, it kind of has a modern sci-fi feel to it. It has been in the top 1,000 about 100 years ago, but it hasn't been in the top 1,000 since I think 1925, and there were only 45 Zenobias born in 2016 in the US, putting it in the 3,000s. So let me know in the comments what names you loved from this video and what unusual names you are loving at the moment. Make sure and go and follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I will put the links in the description down below. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will talk to you later. Bye.